Well, our time in Melbourne got off to the most spectacular start. Constellations was a temporary audio-visual installation on the Yarra River, and it involved light being projected onto water particles which were sprayed in a fan-like structure, and it formed shapes and intangible structures, resulting in amazing 3D visuals. We were really fortunate to be here on its opening night, so sit back and enjoy this short version of what was a longer 15-minute performance. Melbourne comes alive in a different way in the evening, and it's a really nice place to take a walk along the banks of the Yarra River. It's very peaceful. There are little sculptures along the way like this one here, and the city lights form a really nice backdrop in the dark, and it's very peaceful, very quiet, very friendly. Trams are a popular means of transport in Melbourne, and within the central business district they are free to use. This old one runs a circular route on the perimeter of the central business district, and it's also free to use. Melbourne, I think, is quite a cultured city. And this rather impressive building here is the Melbourne Museum. It contains a whole number of displays which reflect both the indigenous culture of the Aboriginal people as well as various different periods in Australian history. I was particularly impressed by this 3D representation of the Australian crest. Also inside the building was just the most incredible natural habitat. And if you look carefully, you can find birds wandering around in the undergrowth. And this particular specimen is a satin bowerbird. They're famous for their bowers, which the males build on the ground in order to attract and impress females. The bowers consist of two parallel walls of sticks, and they decorate them with blue items. Another impressive building is the National Gallery of Victoria. I really liked the way that it made a feature of water both inside and outside. The main roads around Melbourne are nice and wide, and the pedestrian crossings are really well marked. They're easy to use and very safe. Another feature of Melbourne are its busy shopping markets. This was an indoor food market which had an international feel to it. Despite being busy, it was a very calm and friendly environment to walk around in, with all manner of foodstuffs available to buy. But you might want to be careful. There was a whole variety of cheeses here, some of which I recognised, many of which I didn't. And the variety of seafood on sale was simply amazing. And there were also quite a few surprises on this meat counter. And away from the indoor market, there were covered markets outside, mainly featuring fruit and veg and a whole variety of other things, just general products to buy, but the fruit and vegetables were in the A to D sheds. And the backdrop to the markets was the towers of the central business district. We visited in spring just as things were getting fresh and looking nice and new. And the architecture in Melbourne is a tasteful blend of old and new. And the street art really is quite something to behold. And the cafe culture is very prominent too, but eventually the clocks at Flinders Street Station told us it was time to head on to Adelaide. So join us for that in part 3.